All right, so we're doing the time zones questions part one. And it says, base the answers to questions 1 to 3 on the map below and on your knowledge of Earth science. The map shows areas of daylight and darkness, right? Darkness is the shaded area, daylight is the light area, in New York State on March 21st. 6 locations are labeled on the map. Number 1, state the name of the location labeled on the map where sunset will next be observed after Syracuse. So in our notes, we've learned that the location that is most eastern will see the sunrise and sunset first, okay? So that means after Syracuse, who will see out of these cities, right? Because remember, this shaded area is already nighttime, right? So they're not going to experience sunset. So between which two cities will see sunset first? It has to be the most eastern city between these two. And so the correct answer is Elmira. All right. The city that is more towards the east will see sunrise and sunset first. And they were asking for after Syracuse. So the next city to the right is Elmira. Number 2. Number 2 says, Earth's system of longitude is based on which Earth's motion? So when we look at our notes, so let me move up, right? Earth's system of longitude, right, which sets up time zones. Why do we have time zones? Oh, let me see. Sorry. It's because the Earth rotates. All right. So the Earth's rotation sets up our system of longitude. So the Earth's rotation, not revolution, sets up our system of longitude. All right, number 3. Number 3 says, compared to the time of sunrise in Albany, right? So Albany's right here. The time of sunrise in Buffalo would be approximately what? So one of the things that we've learned in class is one time zone is how many degrees wide? We learned that one time zone is 15 degrees wide, right? So 15 degrees separation equals a 1 hour time difference. So when I'm looking at my problem and I see Albany and Buffalo, Buffalo has a latitude of close to 79 degrees west, and Albany has a latitude of close to, it looks to be, let's say, close to 74 degrees west, right? So are they 15 degrees apart from each other? No, they're not. So because of the fact that they are not 15 degrees apart from each other, how many degrees are they apart? Only 5 degrees. We learned in class that 15 degrees separation, right, would equal to 1 hour time difference. All right. So we could already remove choice A and B. Sunrise is not going to be an hour apart, right? They're not 15 degrees apart from each other. Okay. So next, is it going to be 20 minutes earlier or 20 minutes later? One of the other things that we learned in class, and I want to emphasize this again and again, we said it right here. The most eastern city will see the sunrise and sunset first. All right. So when I'm looking between Albany and Buffalo, Albany is here and Buffalo is here. Okay, you see my mouse? All right. Which city is more eastern, Albany or Buffalo? Albany is eastern, right? So that means Albany will see sunrise first, and then Buffalo will see sunrise second. Why? because the city that is more towards the east will see sunrise first. So the fact that it says what time of sunrise for Buffalo, sunrise is going to occur second. And so because sunrise is going to occur second at Buffalo, Buffalo will experience sunrise 20 minutes later. All right, number 4. It says basic answer to this question on the map below on your knowledge of earth science. The map, the map shows the 4 time zones across the continental United States. 8 cities are labeled on the map, right? So we have the Eastern time zone is shaded gray, the Central time zone shaded polka dot white, Mountain time zone shaded gray, Pacific time zone shaded polka dot white, all right? So every time you move a time zone, the time changes 1 hour. Keep that in mind. State the time at San Francisco, California, when it is 12 noon at Miami, Florida. Indicate AM and PM in your answer. All right. Well, San Francisco, they said, is 12 noon. Where's San Francisco? San Francisco is right here. Okay. So polka dot white, it is 12 p.m. in San Francisco. What time is it in Miami, Florida? So remember what we learned in class. When you're heading towards the east, time increase. When you head towards the east, time increase. When you're heading towards the west, time gets less, right? Or time goes back. Time goes back. All right, that was in our note sheet. Sorry, this was supposed to say time increase. All right. So therefore, how many time zones does it take for me to get to Miami? Let's look. 1 to the right, 2 to the right, and 3 to the right. So I move 3 hours ahead. So 12 p.m., 1 p.m., 2 p.m., 3 p.m. So my correct answer is going to be 3 p.m. Remember that time zones does not depend on latitude. It only depends on longitude, all right? Moving east or to the west. No problem, no problem. All right, number 5. So number 5 says, how many longitude degrees apart is Messina, New York from Denver, Colorado? Let me refresh all this, all right? Oops. So Denver, Messina, New York from Denver, Colorado. How many longitude degrees apart? So Denver is here, all right? And Messina, New York is here. So if I zoom in, right, and I'm going to measure what my longitude is, we see that this dashed line is 105, right? And Denver is right next to 105, right? And if I follow the line, I'm not gonna go completely straight up. I want to respect the rule. So Denver looks to be about I'll write up here, 104 degrees west. Okay. And then Messina, it looks to be just to the right. Oops, sorry, just to the right of 75 degrees, and the numbers are getting smaller as you move to the right. So it looks to be 74 degrees west. When I subtract 104 degrees west minus 74 degrees west, right? How many degrees apart they are? 30 degrees. So my correct answer is going to be 30 degrees apart. And number 6, even though there's 2 number 6, let's say 6A, right? Right here. So it says identify the altitude of Polaris for New Orleans, Louisiana. So I'm going to find New Orleans. New Orleans is right here, okay? New Orleans is right almost at the dot, all right? It's I guess some people could argue maybe it's touching that 30-degree north line, right? But remember, we're following it, respecting the rule. So New Orleans was located just right before 30 degrees north. So the latitude of New Orleans is actually 29 degrees north, okay? So what is the altitude of Polaris? Well, altitude of Polaris is equal to your latitude, right? Is equal to your latitude, but you do not put the n. All right. So if my latitude for New Orleans is 29 degrees north, then my altitude of Polaris is just going to be 29 degrees. That's the location Polaris will be in the nighttime sky. If you write 29 degrees north for the altitude of Polaris, you will be incorrect. And number 7, all right, even though it says number 6. The diagram below represents a view of Earth from above the North Pole. Points A and B represents locations on Earth's surface. Locations A and B have the same what? All right. So A and B is located at 150 degrees west. All right. That is longitude. All right. Lines that run from the North Pole down, right? These are longitude lines. And so if they have the same longitude, so it's not going to be latitude, they also are in the same time zone. So they have the same longitude and local time. All right, that's the end of the video. All right, I pray that everybody have a wonderful, blessed day. Make sure to like, share, and subscribe. Take care, everybody. Have a blessed day.